Question number 36 of the PhilNITS FE morning portion of the exam. In this question, we are being asked, which of the following is the most appropriate description of polymorphism in object-oriented design? I think that this question shouldn't be too difficult, except that I ended up choosing the wrong answer according to the answers key, because the correct answer is supposed to be letter D. Alright, and we need to know why it's D and not A. But first, maybe we can go to the other ones, which I thought were clearly not the right answers. Letter B, for example, saying that it allows the analyst to focus on the important dimensions while ignoring non-essential dimensions. Okay, I think if we're dealing with object-oriented design, polymorphism, the part about dimensions and non-essential dimensions, I think there's a better answer, an answer closer to what we're aiming for. That's why B wouldn't be the right answer. Of course, I say that because I've seen the other choices. Okay? What about letter C? It combines processes and data into a single object. Actually, what we want is to be able to create multiple objects. And in this case, we have only one object, a single object. Therefore, C wouldn't be the right answer. If we now go to A and D, A is saying that it allows developers to define classes incrementally by reusing classes defined previously as the basis for new classes. I thought it was the correct answer, because if we're talking about polymorphism, we want to be able to create more and more of these classes by reusing the attributes, the behaviors that already are in a previous class. So in that way, we could organize the code, and we could create more of these new classes much faster, because we are simply getting the attributes and behaviors of an earlier class and then putting them in the new classes, and the new classes can have their own new behaviors and attributes as well. So in that sense, we are reusing the code that we've already written previously. However, it turns out that the correct answer is supposed to be letter D, which says that it is the provision of a single interface to entities of different types, which I think maybe says a lot more about the fact that the new classes should have some kind of relationship other than reusing the code, reusing the attributes and behaviors. Is there a way for us to know that they share something together, apart from whatever it is that is in the previous class's code? And in this case, looks like it's saying that a single interface can be used to create entities, more entities. And in that way, we get an idea that the entities would share something with each other, because they are getting attributes and behaviors from the same interface. For example, if we got an actor here, something that does some sort of activity, then polymorphism would let us create a student and a teacher out of the actor, and whatever behavior and attributes the actor would have, they would also be applied to the next classes that make use of the actor class. And of course, if a student would have its own behavior, its own attributes, then that is also well and good. And of course, if it's a student's behavior and attributes, the teacher won't have those as well. Okay? And of course, if they share those, then those would be in the actor. Another example would be if you're creating a game where you got a monster, then the monster's attributes and behaviors, like for example, position X, position Y, would be transferred, or I think the terminology for object-oriented design is inherited by the bat. So the bat would have a position for the X and the Y axes, and the snake would have those, and the slime would have those. But the bat could have another type of behavior that would be different from the snake. Maybe it has an attack, a way to attack those heroes or whatever enemy the bat would have, and a damage would be dealt because a bat would have a certain amount of damage, and a snake would attack in another way maybe. So I think that part will be more of the artificial intelligence that we put in the bat and the snake and the slime, and how they would interact with the heroes, the game's virtual world. Therefore, if we are to think about which one among the choices is telling us that polymorphism is this particular description, it looks like D is the best answer. In the